a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. A6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball today. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the. On record, off record, I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record, I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record, I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence, also coming to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected with them losing. And I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing. So I went the winnings and they play reducers. Guess I have to pivot, shooting up bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper, cash, the tax. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam got the bag. Brody plot, we'll get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got laugh on my back. You ain't that, then it's.
Hello again, and welcome to another hopefully edutaining episode of Create Simple Meals. As you see, we inside tonight. For those of you that's in Southern California, especially in the Valley, you probably heard that wind just ripping through the LA area, and I was not about to go out there tonight. Tonight we're doing kimchi fried rice. For those of you who've never had kimchi, matter of fact, get that kimchi out the refrigerator. For those of you who've never had kimchi, it's a fermented cabbage. I think it's popular in a lot of Korean cuisines. But I had this meal at, I think the guy's name is Roy Choi. Yeah, Roy Choi. Went to his restaurant a while ago. He had this kimchi fried rice. It's amazing. Mine comes nowhere close to his, but it is a good substitute. So it's in that jar behind you, right there. Should be in one of them. But it is an amazing substitute. So tonight we're going to do kimchi fried rice. It's basically leftover rice, although I cooked this about an hour or so ago. Leftover rice, some onions, some kimchi, some sesame oil, soy sauce, egg. That's pretty much it. I'm also back on my drinking, but not a lot, just a little bit. And so I had made this what was it? A hard cider, a strawberry lemonade hard cider. And so I'm all excited about this Super Bowl. I had this hard cider ready that made 5 gallons. And for the first time in 5 years, my biggest fear hit. My keg exploded, and 5 gallons of cider was all over my living room. Luckily, I had put some away because I had made more than 5 gallons, so I put about a half a gallon away. But there goes that. So anyway, we're going to get started with this recipe. Like I said, it's real simple. We're going to first cut up some of these onions. Now, my wife asked me earlier, give me 1 second real quick. Can't find it? I know I just bought it. Yeah, it's right there. My wife asked me earlier, it's like, why you got out 2 knives? And I'm like, well, reason. This knife here, you can cut with it and slice with it. This is not a dicing knife. We often use this, one of the most overworked knives in our arsenal, but this is not a dicing knife. This knife, I think they call it a Seiku knife, is better for dicing because it's a flat edge, whereas this one levels off. So just a little cooking tip. Anyway, we're going to chop some of this up real quick, and you'll see why I'm using a separate knife in a second. Take this, and because I ain't no fancy culinary professional, I don't have all them fancy dicing skills that they have, the flat knife allows me to cover more of the area. Now, it's kind of hard because I'm used to doing the show outside. There's less real estate to cook at inside, but like I said, I was not going to deal with that wind and cold out here tonight. Also, shout out to those that help produce this show, Self-Lodge Planning and the Self-Employed Tax Group. So Self-Employed Tax Group, as y'all know, he is my personal tax professional, but he has built a company that is for you, the working person. You can actually do all your tax preparation with him via Skype, email, phone call, or he also has an office, but I highly recommend him. And then Self-Lodge Planning for all your group travel needs. Please hit up Self-Lodge Planning. We will do our best to help you out in your travel needs. Full disclosure, I own Self-Lodge Planning, so in case you didn't know, full disclosure. But the revenue from that helps fund this show. Anyway, So, again, we're doing kimchi fried rice. If you have not had kimchi, it's a fermented cabbage. I can't really explain the flavor profile to it. Maybe like a spicily, pickly cabbage. Whatever it is, you got to trust me on this one. You should try it. If you don't want to make it, then you can definitely go to Roy Choi. Let me a towel. Roy Choi's restaurant where he makes an amazing one. So now that we got that done, put a little butter in this pan. Turn this up a little bit. Thank you. The extra added annoyance of cooking inside is also it gets hot in here in this kitchen. You can't really open up windows because you get all that other backdraft information here. Let me get this up. Now, as you see, for those who watch the show, this is a different cooktop that I'm using from normal. Normally, I'm using my induction, but because I'm using my wok, I had to switch to an infrared burner. So it will be a little bit slower than my infrared, but shouldn't be too much so, because one good thing we have by us being in the house, we ain't got to deal with the temperature outside. Hey, so back to myself, Chris Aaron. Oh, I'm glad he chimed in right now because I can start talking about this hard cider, because I had promised that I was going to bring them some of this hard cider. But as I said earlier in the show, first time in the 5 years I've been brewing, my keg burst, probably Ann's biggest fear too, and 5 gallons of cider spread all through my family room. So sorry, Chris, can't bring you none in this one, but I will make some more. For those of you that's interested in making cider, as you know, I do beer, but this is one of the simplest things. I really got some organic strawberry lemonade and tossed in some yeast. For the nerds that want to know, it's Safe L05 yeast. But you literally just toss it in and sit for a week and a half, and then you got alcohol. That's basically it. For those of you that been behind the Gray Bar Inn, it's like Pruno. All right. So this should be getting just hot enough. Again, real simple recipe. We're using leftover rice. We're going to use fermented cabbage. Right now, I'm getting ready to take this onion, cook this off in here. And while that's cooking, I might as well start cutting these up. This is just for garnish, but ain't no point in waiting to the end to cut them up. I mean, imagine you coming home from work and you wanting to make a quick meal. You ain't gonna be sitting there waiting. So hopefully what you also learning from this show is that it don't take a lot to make a decent meal. I think the majority of the shows I've done have been under 45 minutes. And most everything that I cook on Create Simple Meals is done live. Every now and again, we do some pre-prep, such as tonight, we're using leftover rice. But all these meals are something you can basically get done in a short period of time. Now, as far as this kimchi, you need to rough dice it. You don't have to. I'm going to rough dice it because if not, and I'll let you see it once I open it up. They're pretty large pieces. So it's basically just cabbage. It does have a very unique odor. But I'm going to take some of this right now just to rough chop it. So we ain't sitting here eating off on no huge bite-sized pieces. All right. Take that there. And when I say rough chop, I do mean you just macerating this real easy. Now, I'm actually should put some more. Now, I don't know if they make mild kimchi. The store I go to has the same one, so it's always kind of spicy. So keep that in mind when making this recipe, that it can be spicy. A way to tame it and also not violate the flavor profile of this basically Korean dish, you can add some rice wine, some mirin, which is kind of sweet, which will cut down on the heat if you're very heat intolerant, like one of my good frat brothers. He don't like absolutely no heat. So as you see that there, that's sitting there cooking down. We're going to take this kimchi add right into it. Let it warm up. And actually going to take a little bit of the kimchi juice because you want that flavor in it as well. Now, as far as the eggs, so as you know, you want me to take out the heat? Oh, so the director done brought some rice wine, so I guess she's telling me to take some of this heat out of this. So I guess I got to put some of that in there. This is the benefit of watching us live, because some of the stuff that we do live, it ain't gonna go in the recipe. In the recipe, you're gonna get as it's written. All right, so as that's cooking down, we're basically just warming up because you're not even cooking it, you're just getting it hot. We're gonna take this leftover rice. And again, if you don't have leftover rice, you can cook rice same day, but you will have to let it cool down to room temperature. So I cooked this maybe about an hour or so ago, hour and a half. And basically we just gonna take this rice and put on right in there. Take that, and now you just stir in there, do stir frying. Like I say, you can add protein. A lot of the recipes, if you look online and you start looking for kimchi fried rice, you can add chicken, shrimp. And I debated on that, and I'm like, nah, you know what? We don't need no protein. You can put tofu if you so choose. I've seen Spam. I don't do Spam though. But basically the reason you want to use older rice is because you want to dry it out. You're almost basically frying it. So you know how you cook rice and you hate for it to stick to the pot? You want to actually make it stick to the pot when you're doing this. Some people say short grain rice. I prefer jasmine rice. Actually, I prefer jasmine rice to almost every rice when I'm doing white rice. But for this, I highly recommend using jasmine rice. And I'm not sure because I altered the sound system. I don't know if you can hear the sizzling or not. But you definitely want to make sure your pan is hot enough where you get a nice sizzle to it. I went so many damn weeks not drinking. I be forgetting it's there now, even though I miss it. Shit, I wonder if I got enough time to make some for Mardi Gras and take it with me. I might actually try that. Make a hard side and take it to Mardi Gras. All right. So as doing this, we're going to keep letting it cook. From here, we're going to add a little bit of sesame oil. I like sesame oil, so I'm going to put a lot of it. And a little bit of soy sauce. You ain't got to go overboard on the soy sauce. But that's where you're getting your salt from. Also, folks, please send me your ideas. Because I'm going to tell you, we went through so many ideas of what we're cooking this week. And for the first time in history, it's an earthquake coming. My wife, my daughter, and my niece, I learned, so I always used to text them and ask them, like, what should I cook tonight, yada, yada, yada. And I learned if I ask them all in a group text, it becomes a battle. Ashton will say peanut butter and jelly, and Tony gonna say jelly and peanut butter, just to be different. So what I started doing, and Ann said, I don't give a damn, as long as I ain't gotta cook. So what I started doing, I started texting them separately. So other day I text them, I said, hey man, what am I cooking on Tuesday? Knowing whatever I cook, y'all eating. And I gave them some ideas. And all three of them said kimchi fried rice. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. I'm like, that was something amazing. So this better be a bomb-ass meal because all three of them came out with it. Again, now, if you were going to use protein in this, like if you were going to use shrimp, you could actually add it in right now if you're going to use raw shrimp. If you were going to use leftover protein, you would have put this in right before you did the rice to get it to get it warmed up. Again, we're not putting any protein in this. I'm gonna let that keep cooking down. And I don't know if the camera's picking up good, but that stickiness that's in there, that's what you want. You want that that stickiness to the rice. And I'm gonna let this continue cooking. Actually, I'm gonna do two things. One, move this butter out my way. Two, I got a couple pieces of rice granules, and yeah, I'm cheap on purpose, not on accident. I want all my rice. Mix that on in there. Now, as far as the egg, on the recipe, you're going to see where you cook the egg and put it on top of fried egg. I'm going to do two methods tonight. The fried egg may not come out right because I suck at frying eggs, but I'm going to actually add egg into the meal. Because in my opinion, it gives it more texture. It also makes it more heartier, and I just like the way it kind of gets, not gummy, but it's a different texture for it. So I'm going to take this egg right in the pot. Let me grab these. Because when I'm doing the egg, you don't have to use chopsticks. I do because I want the egg to mix a certain way. You don't have to use the chopsticks. I just found for my liking, it mixes better. You can use a fork. Actually, if you don't have chopstick and you do want to do what I'm doing, use the back of a handle. Just take a back of a handle of one of your spatulas, and it'll help you mix it up as well. So while that's doing that, now I'm going to attempt the part that I think I'm going to screw up on. But I told y'all from the very first episode, give me a red rag so I can get this burner wiped off. From the very first episode, every mistake I make, y'all going to see it too. We going to go through this journey absolutely together. Because I ain't got enough sense to be ashamed. Thank you. All right, me. This off, turn this up. Now, on Saturday mornings when Ann is cooking her eggs, she always gotta show me how pretty she can make her eggs. She always flipping them and tossing them, talking about it's a pretty egg, it's a pretty egg. So for y'all that know me, y'all know some things I struggle with in life. As much different type of cuisine I cook, I struggle with some basic things. I can't make omelets to save my damn life. I cannot fry chicken in a skillet. I bought a commercial fryer just so I can fry good chicken. I cannot fry chicken in a skillet. So because I'm not going to be modest, I am the better cook in the house. I think my wife gets a kick out of making them damn eggs just to show me up because I can't do no damn egg. It's all right, though. One of these days, I'm going to learn. Now, I'm hoping what I'm about to do is going to work right. In the meantime, while this is still cooking there, mix this up some. So at this moment in the recipe, put it on low and let it just keep on cooking. And for those of you just tuning in, again, we're doing kimchi fried rice, basic rice, using some leftover white rice, adding in some onion, some sesame oil, some kimchi, which is a fermented cabbage, some soy sauce, egg. That's basically it. And right now we're about to fry egg and try to put that on top. If you want to add protein, you can. But tonight we protein free. One thing I have noticed when I'm outside, I don't sweat like this. They like, he must be nervous. No, I'm hot. All right. I think that oil, I see it shimmering. Let's see if we can do it. Give me a bowl. We're going to have to plate this real fast. Again, shout out to the self-employed tax company. And when I say produce, I'm not just using some industry word for the hell of it. He actually does help produce this show. He helps with the editing. He helps with the website. He also helps with buying some of this equipment. But shout out to the self-employed tax company. If you need your taxes done, I highly recommend them. First of all, just the uniqueness of the situation where, I mean, some of y'all know y'all go do y'all taxes. You got to stand in line for 45 hours. This brother has developed a company from the ground up so that you, the working professional, you can upload your documents and talk to him via Skype. You can email him. You can go to his office. He's actually made a company for the average middle class worker. So I highly recommend the self-employed tax company. Also, self-lodge planning for all your group travel, your class reunions, your Masonic, fraternal, or organizations, whatever group travel you have, please hit up self-lodge planning. We will do you right. Now, while we're doing this, let me go ahead and start pre-plating. And let's see, can I get this egg to do the right thing? Is that too hot? You think it's too hot? I think you just waiting for me to fuck up on camera, ain't you? All right. Well, it didn't stay in the center like I wanted. I wanted to stay all pretty in the center. It didn't. See, you about to judge already, ain't you? Director over here looking like it ain't pretty as mine. All right. I'm assuming you just let it sit. Now, this is actually, y'all might think it's for entertainment value, but I really have no idea really how to fry eggs. First of all, I eat my eggs scrambled. That's number one. So this is kind of foreign to me. Give me a spatula, because I think I do need to kind of move it or something. Well, how it's going to slide out the pan? I said, how it's going to slide out the pan? Appreciate it. All right, and I don't want it done. Ah, there we go. I told y'all some shit I just can't do right. I want that over there. And see, can I couldn't get as pretty as I did on the picture. By the way, that picture that y'all see, that is mine. I have done it right every now and again. I just didn't do it right this time. But anyway, folks, that is kimchi fried rice. Trust me, if kimchi is not something you've ever tried, believe me, I got some of the same 7 roots a lot of my viewers have. You will not be disappointed. It is a different flavor, but I highly recommend try it. Kimchi, this is the one I've always used because that's the one that's around here. I don't know the difference between one kimchi for another. Real simple recipe: leftover rice, some sesame oil, some soy sauce, sauteed some onions, mix it all together with the kimchi. Now, for those of you that live in areas where certain things like sesame oil may not be easily accessible, you can just use basically any oil. The sesame has a flavor to it, but if you can't get it, the soy sauce will still give you that Asian flair. Until next week, when we'll figure out what we're going to cook again. Sometime I can tell y'all, this week I can't. Please join us again on Create Simple Meals. Please like, share, follow, and remember, there are only 3 rules when it comes to cooking. You must have a passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. See you again next week on Create Simple Meals. Thanks, you ready?